Hey folks, Night of Living Card Games here. It is Sunday night where I am, and I have wrapped up a weekend that has been mostly yard work around the house and spending time with some friends. So, just trying to chill out on a Sunday night before going to work tomorrow. So, I thought this is the perfect time to come try out Angel. So, I picked him and Psylocke up on Friday. I did a kind of first play and thoughts on Psylocke on Friday. Now's a good time to do Angel. So excited to get him on the table. So I'm gonna use, since he's one of the flipping cards. I picked these up when I think Ant-Man first came up. I forgot what they're called. I think they were originally for somebody created them for the Transformer game. So you put it in, opened up. You can slide the cover between the alter ego and the first hero mode, and then you flip it over for the other one. So it was either that, or I could use my giant size buy the same token player board, which I do have. As you can tell, the cards are a little small there. So when you unfold them, it's good size. You can see here, but I just decided to keep it simple tonight. All right, so as I said, standard vanilla Sandman on standard, as suggested in the campaign. So, like with Psylocke, I haven't actually really looked at many of his cards. I know FFG, put them out, and I looked at out during the announcements and those sorts of things, but I haven't really thought about them since. And I sleeved the cards, but I tried not to pay attention to them. So see just how much that hurts me. I know pre-con, I'm just doing the pre-con with Angel as well. I know protection pre-cons tend to be crap. I'm trying to think if I remember any decent pre-con protection deck. I mean, Doctor Strange was fine, but not because of the protection pre-con, but because Doctor Strange is so strong. So I don't have high hopes for the pre-con deck, but I'm hoping that Angel is fun. So let's see here. Techno-Organic Wing seems really nice. Fight, remove 4 threat. Confuse. Ooh, and stun. I'll keep Adaptive Plumage and Avian Anatomy. I'll get rid of the rest of them. I don't know. I'll be able to play them all, but what the heck. All right. Aerial Agility, Razor Dive, and Elixir. All right. Well, let's see here. Well, I can't get both the wings and the adaptive plumage out. Kind of wanted to. Oh, actually. Yeah, I can. All right, so I am going to flip up. Because in Alter Ego, I can just heal myself, but that doesn't do me any good. I'm actually going to flip straight to Archangel. We'll see if that comes back to bite me. So we got a +1 on me for right now. I am going to exhaust myself to take 2 of the city streets counters out. I'm going to use Razor Dive, Elixir, and Avian Anatomy to pay for Adaptive Plumage. So Adaptive Plumage, 3 cost event, hero action, attack, or thwart. You get to choose. I'm going to choose to attack. If you are Archangel, which I am, deal 4 damage to an enemy and then stun it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And Sandman is stunned. All right, now Avian Anatomy is the Angel resource card for Angel, and it says after you spend this card to pay for an aerial event, which Adaptive Plumage is, return that event to your hand after resolving its effect. So I get to pull that back into my hand. Oh, I still won't have enough to pay for Techno or my Techno Organic Wings. Apparently I'm not. All right. I am... Well, Aerial Agility is a defense card, so that doesn't do me any good. So I guess I'm done. I will just get rid of Plumage and Aerial Agility and then draw up to 4. Oh, forgot Archangel's ability. After you play an area event, deal damage to an enemy equal to the event's printed cost. I actually got to deal him 3 more damage. That's handy. All right, so we got Techno Organic Wings. We have a Containment Strategy, Cannonball, and Taunt. All right, so we are getting 2 on the main since I've got the acceleration token because of Archangel. He would attack, but he is stunned. And we get a encounter card, which is Threat or Menace. Hey Nolan, yeah, it's just a precon. This is the first time I've cracked him out of the box, so I figure I would give it a try. And just as precon, I like to do that and see that they are. As I mentioned in the intro, I don't have a lot of confidence in this because protection precons especially tend to be kind of junky. Okay, when revealed, you may change form. If you're in hero form, place 2 threat on the main scheme. If you're in alter ego form, you cannot change forms during your next turn. Okay, well, I definitely want to stay in hero form. What am I going to do here? I mean, I guess I'll take my free flip to Angel mode. And then I have to put 2 threat on the main. So that is not ideal. At least I got rid of the acceleration token. So I am at 6 out of 9 at the moment. All right, we're going to spend Taunt, Containment Strategy, and Containment Strategy to get down my Techno Organic Wings. So I get to exhaust it. As a hero action, I can exhaust it. If I'm in Angel mode, I get to ready my hero. If I'm in Archangel mode, I get to reduce the cost of the next aerial event I play by 2. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to thwart 2 off of the main, use my wings to ready myself, and then thwart 2 off the main. Then you want to know what? Since I haven't done a flip yet, I am going to flip down to Warren Worthington III. Okay. That is that. I will keep Cannonball in my hand. He seems like an interesting ally. So we got Cannonball. We got a Warpath. Another Containment Strategy. Psylocke. Ever Vigilant. And then Angel's Airy. All right. So we're getting 1 on the main. Sandman is scheming for 1, 2. That takes us up to 5 here. And now our encounter card is Sandform. So attach a Sandman after he takes any amount of damage, discards Sand Form instead, and then resolve the Surging Sands ability. All right. I'm trying to figure out what do I have. So I want to do Ever Vigilance. It's nice. It readies my hero, removes 2 threat from the main scheme. Containment strategy does me no good. I won't have enough to pay for anything else. All right, well, I guess I'm going to spend Warpath to get my Aerie down. Response after you defends against an attack. Place a fatigue counter here. And as an alter ego action, remove each fatigue counter here and heal 1 damage for your identity for each counter removed. All right. So we were going to flip up. We'll flip up just into regular angel mode. We are going to spend containment strategy and Psylocke to play Ever Vigilant. Reprint with new X-Men art. Ready your hero and remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Oh, I exhausted to remove 2. Then Ever Vigilant allows me to ready and remove 2. And I think what I'll do is I'll exhaust myself to take 1 off the city street, ready myself with Techno-Organic to remove the other 1 off of city street. Let's get that clear. So then next turn I can, well, he's going to probably hit me this turn, so. All right, so I'm going to hold on to Cannonball again. I'll give 1 more try to get him out, and we'll see. Soaring Acrobatics, Soaring Hearts, the Power of Flight, and the Power of Flight. Okay, so... Okay, I can potentially do stuff with that. All right, so we get 1 on the main. He comes to attack. I'll defend. Why not? So he's attacking for 2, 3. So I take 1 damage from that. It's indirect, but I've got nowhere else to assign it. I did defend, so I do get to place 1 counter on Angel's Aerie. And now, after he attacks you and it deals indirect damage, if my identity takes damage, which it did, resolve Surging Sand. So Surging Sand says put 1 counter here and discard 1 encounter deck, which is a gang up. Right, now we get our encounter card. It is Assault. So he attacks me again. I guess I'm just taking it because can't stop it. So 2, 5. And then we do Surging Sands again. Alrighty then. That was definitely something. All right. So all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the Power of Flight and Soaring Hearts to get out Cannonball. Cannonball is a 3-cost ally with 2 thwart, 2 attack, and both take double consequential damage, and only 2 hit points. Seems pretty poor for 3 cost, but the interrupt is when Cannonball would take any amount of consequential damage, reduce that amount by X, where X is the number of aerial cards in your hand. So if I've got a handful of aerials cards, or at least 2 of them in my hand, unfortunately I don't right now, but if I did, then I could thwart or attack for 2 with no consequential. And then play with it. So Nolan, I do think this precon is trying to incentivize allies so you can play taunt and then use the aerial defense without exhausting. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Yeah. At the moment, I am going to Exhaust Cannonball to clear out city streets. I'll use my wings to ready myself, and I will thwart 2 off the main. And then I will flip down, and I will do this action to heal 1 from myself. Yeah, I haven't really looked at... I sleeved it without looking at the deck very much, so I haven't tried to figure out what the deck is trying to do at this point yet. Between this, the allies, and things like, and the aerial defense cards, it definitely, and then the taunt, it definitely seems like it's a kind of like a come at me, bro, protection deck. So I'm gonna get rid of Soaring Acrobatics. I'm gonna keep the Power of Flight and draw 5 more. Aerial Agility, Power of Flight, Soaring Acrobatics, Protection, personal side scheme or player side scheme, heal 5 damage when resolved, not bad. And then Ever Vigilant. Okay. Well, not going to have to worry about doing a lot of threat in this turn, but let's see here. So we get 1 on the main. He schemes for 1, just 1, up to 2. And now we get a Sand Clone. So currently it's attacking for 0 with 3 hit points. All right. Okay. I will use my ability to heal 1. Oh, I am not exhausted anymore. I'm going to choose not to heal. Oh, and Cannonball should not be exhausted either. I didn't unexhaust any of my stuff. All right, we're going to flip up to Archangel. So giving ourselves the +1 there. We're going to have Cannonball deal 2 damage to Sand Clone. I can do that with no consequential damage because I have Ever Vigilant and Aerial Agility in my hand, which are both aerial cards. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Before I did that, I'm sorry. I used both my Power of Flights to get the Soaring Acrobatics upgrade out. So 2 cost to upgrade, max 1 per player. When an aerial character you control uses a basic power, exhaust it, and the character gets +1 power for this attack. So I'm going to retcon and say I did that and use that. So Cannonball was actually attacking for 3. And I didn't discard either of my aerial cards to pay for that, so, or put it out. So he still takes no consequential damage. He takes out the Sand Clone, but that does mean I have to resolve Surging Sands. Okay. I'm going to exhaust my wings to reduce the cost of the next aerial event I play by... Actually, first, I'm going to attack, which takes out the sand form, which means I've got to do the Surging Sands. It's up to 2. Techno-Organic Wings to reduce the cost of the next aerial event I play by 1, or by 2. That will be Ever Vigilant. So I am going to ready my hero and then remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Sure, it's 0 cost, so it doesn't do me any harm to get out the player side scheme, render medical aid. It's a 3 threat per player side scheme, and when defeated, each player heals a total of 5 damage from among characters they control. That's not too shabby. And Nolan, I think that's probably that sounds about right from what I've seen so far. I think you're on it with kind of the direction they were taking on it. I will punch for 2. 1, 2. Right, we're going to ready everything up. And then I'm going to hold on to, I've got my defense card in my hand, the Aerial Agility. Avian Anatomy, Metamorphosis, Aerial Intervention, and Taunt. All right. Okay, so we'll see what's going on here. So we're going to get 2 on the main since I'm in Archangel mode. He comes to attack. I am going to spend Taunt. Or do I? No. I'm going to use Avian Anatomy to pay for Aerial Agility. So Aerial Agility says when an enemy attacks, if you're an angel, ignore the boost icons and boost ability. If you're an Archangel form, get a tough status card and gain Retaliate 1 for this attack. So tough, and we get Retaliate. And then because of Avian Anatomy, once this is done, I will get to return that card to my hand. All right, so he's attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5, which just hits my tough. So does no damage, so I don't have to resolve Surging Sands. And then the Retaliate takes him down 1. And then I played an aerial event. So I get to deal damage to an enemy equal to the event's printed cost. So another 1. And then I get to bring this back to my hand because of Avian Anatomy. All right, encounter card time. Assault. So he's attacking me. All right, I could play Aerial Agility again, but I don't think I'm going to. No, I don't think I will. So I guess I'm going to defend. I'll defend. So he's attacking for 2. My defense is 3, so 2. Just 2. All right. Well, what I will do here then is... Yeah, let's... Oh, no. Shoot, now if I did that... So I have Taunt in my hand, and I have both Aerial Agility and Aerial Intervention. So I could have him attack and then try to have him avoid doing damage. Oh, but I got to pay for it, so... Yeah, what the hell. It's pre-con. It's goofy. Let's play it. So I'm going to spend Aerial Agility to play Taunt. So the villain attacks you. Other characters cannot defend against this attack. Draw 3 cards. Now the question becomes, the attack has to happen before you draw 3 cards just by the writing. I'm assuming it's not simultaneous and I don't get to pick the order. Because that might have changed what I would have done if I could draw 3 first. But I'm going to assume that I can't. Now, I've already defended, so I can't do anything about it. So, 2, 3. I am going to play Aerial Intervention. When a character would take any amount of damage from an attack, exhaust an aerial character you control. I will exhaust Cannonball. And prevent up to 3 of that damage. So I prevented 3. Okay, so now Taunt is done, so I get to draw 3 cards. I get a Natural Flight, Adaptive Plumage, Soaring Acrobatics, and another Taunt. I don't think I want to Taunt again. All right. All right, I got a plan. All right, so I'm going to use my techno-organic wings. Since I'm Archangel, I get to reduce the cost of the next aerial event I play this phase by 2. So I'm going to play Metamorphosis. It says change form, and then depending on what form you end up in, that determines what happens. I'm going to change into regular Angel. Okay. Still exhausted. So since I'm in Angel form, I get to remove 2 threat from a scheme. I will remove 2 threat from the main, and that is Metamorphosis. Oh yeah, I defended against an attack, so I do get another counter on Angel Airy. Aerial Intervention is not a defense traded card, so I don't get to use that for that. All right. I am now going to spend 3 cards. Yeah, we'll do 3 cards to do Adaptive Plumage. I'm in Angel mode, so I get to remove 3 threat from a scheme and confuse an enemy. So I'll remove 3 from the player side scheme, which allows me to heal 5 damage among players I control. So I am going to heal all 4 of my damage. This goes in the victory display. And I get to confuse an enemy, so I'm going to confuse Sandman. And do I want to flip down this turn? Nah. Let's stay up. That's 5. That decks me out. Let's see, Nolan. The deck should have come with a resource generator. Yeah, I guess the techno-organic wings kind of are if you're in Archangel mode, because it reduces it by 2. I guess because they threw in the those Angel resource cards that returns the event back to your hand, maybe? I don't know. I do find it interesting that both Psylocke and Angel, neither of them came with the double resource cards. She came with Power of the Mind, which counts as double if you're doing a psionic card. And Angel came with Power of Flight, so double for any aerial card, but neither of them came with the standard Energy Genius Strength. I'm not complaining, because God knows I've got dozens of those cards. But I still find it interesting. So let's see here. What do we got? We got Never Vigilant. Another Metamorphosis. Worthington Industries. Sounds so snooty. A Razor Dive. And then Aerial Intervention. Okay. All right, well, let's see what happens here. We're getting 1 on the main. He is coming to attack me. I'll defend. Let's defend. So 2, 3, 4. He deals 1 damage. You know what? I'm gonna put that on Cannonball so I don't have to trigger Surging Sands. And I did defend. So I get a 3rd counter there. A card to pay for taunt would make the deck flow better. Yeah, I would agree with you. Having to pay the 1 just to get hit. Again, I'm going to have to check. I don't know if there's been I didn't look in the little sheet, and I haven't seen if there's an official one just to see. For taunt, do you have to go through with the attack before you draw the cards, or can you draw the cards and then deal with the attack? Because that's also another thing that would impact things a lot. All right, so we're getting 2 encounter cards here. First one is Friends and Family. While in hero form, increase the resource cost for each event you play by 1. And then as alter ego action, discard 1 identity-specific card from your hand. Discard this obligation. Alrighty. And then we get Sand Smash. Sandman attacks you with +1 attack. Okay, well, I'm defending. I've already defended, so I can't do anything about that. I don't have a defense card in my hand, but I do have the aerial intervention, so maybe I'll get lucky. So he's attacking for 2. 3, 4, 5. I'll do aerial intervention, because what the hell, I might as well. And then 2 damage. 1, 2. I'll just take it on myself, since I'm just going to flip down to alter ego and get a free 2 heal anyway. And I do have to then do this. So 1, 2, 3. I'm getting real quick to a acceleration icon here. All right, let's see what we got here. I've got 2 aerial cards I've got 3 aerial cards in my hand. So cannonball. Yeah, cannonball. I'm just trying to decide, do I want him to punch or do I want him to clear city streets? Yeah, let's clear city streets. Just 2. It's not a basic power, so I can't use soaring acrobatics to do anything. But I do have to remember that that does actually work for my hero as well, not just the allies. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. No, you think that I played it. The taunt right is you resolve the attack first and then draw cards. Yeah, I mean that's what it seems like with the wording of it. But all right. Well, because of this, all my events cost me 1 more, so I'm really not going to get a chance to play any of them, which is fine. That's fine. I'm going to spend. Yeah, I'm going to spend Metamorphosis to get down Worthington Industries. Very fancy. And then I guess I will use my wings to ready myself. I'll exhaust myself and just take the last sand counter off, and then I'm going to flip down to hero mode. Or alter ego mode, and then I will do my ability to heal a damage. And then I will exhaust Worthington Industries to shuffle 1 aerial card, which right now, from my discard pile into my deck, which right now is only Metamorphosis. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Oh, good to know that I played it right, but all right. And because I'm an alter ego, Worthington Industry also allows me to draw cards, so that is aerial intervention. All right. I am going to, I'm going to hold on to Razor Dive. I do want to get rid of friends and family, but I'm going to wait until next turn to do that. All right. I'm going to get rid of aerial intervention. Sure, I will keep Ever Vigilant in, so I'm going to hold 2. Razor Dive, Ever Vigilant, 4 more, Warpath, Aerial Intervention, Soaring Hearts, and Soaring Acrobatics, so no other Archangel cards, so I guess I am going to have to get rid of Razor Dive next turn. Oh, I forgot to ready up all these. All right, so we're getting 1 on the main, 2 out of 9. He would scheme, but he is confused. We get 1 encounter card, which is an advance, naturally. So he schemes for 1, 2, 3. So we're up to 5 out of 9. Definitely going to have to do something about that. All right, my turn. I am going to heal for 1. I am going to do an alter ego action, discard 1 identity-specific card from my hand to discard friends and family. Then I'm going to use Worthington Industries to shuffle the card back into my deck because it was an aerial traded card. And because I'm still an alter ego, I get to draw a card. And that is Containment Strategy. All right, I do not have a lot of cards that are going to be worthwhile to me, do I? Nope. All right, so we are going to flip up to hero mode. I'm just checking to see which hero mode do I want to go up to. All right, I've got Ever Vigilant in my hand. That'll 2. You know what? Yeah. Let's do it. All right. So we are going to flip up into Archangel mode. All right. Cannonball is going to thwart, and I'm going to use Soaring Acrobatics to increase it by 1. So he is thwarting for 3, taking this down to 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 aerial cards in my hand, so Cannonball takes no consequential damage. I'm going to exhaust my wings to reduce the cost of the next aerial event I play. But actually, no. I'm going to attack for 3. Taking him down to 2. Now I'm going to reduce it by 2, and I'm going to play Ever Vigilant, ready my hero, and remove 2 threat from the main scheme. And because I played an aerial event, I get to ping a damage. I am now going to spend 4 cards, Containment Strategy, Soaring Acrobatics, Soaring Hearts, and Aerial Intervention to get down Warpath. So Warpath, 4 cost, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 4 hit points. Thwarting takes 2 consequential, attack takes 1. Comes in with Tough. And then hero response. After Warpath defends against an attack, play an event with a hero action ability from your hand, paying its cost. So, not sure about this one. Haven't looked at, thought about the combos with Warpath enough, but I'm going to guess that he's going to lead to some crazy interactions along the way. All right, I am going to then hit Sandman for another 3, which takes out Form 1. Puts in Form 2, comes in with 18 hit points. And when revealed, resolve Surging Sands. So we get 1 on there, discard 1. And that is, I'm not going to do anything with Warpath, so that's all I can do. All right, let's draw up to 5. Warpath will be awesome for minion heroes. I could see that, yeah. Because if you're defending, you know, you're only taking 1 damage or something like that. I'm just curious to see what crazy events there are out there that you can play during the villain phase. If anything's gonna break because of that. Ever Vigilant, Containment Strategy. Wow, I'm getting like no attack cards here. What's up with that? All right, so we're gonna get 2 on the main. He is coming to attack. I will defend. There's no point in me defending, is there? No. No, because it's coming in. It's coming in as indirect damage. So I can assign up to 4 on Warpath and his Tough card. So if I defend, that would limit it, and that would potentially not have City Streets trigger, but whatever. So he's attacking for 3 and 1 for 4. So hey, that actually does work. I can assign it all to Warpath's Tough card because Tough on a ally, Tough can only absorb the remaining hit points on that character. So since he was undamaged, it could take up to 4. Right, so I don't have to trigger City Streets or Surging Sands. And we get one encounter card, which is Sandstorm. Deal X indirect damage among players as divided as equally as you choose, where X is the number of sand counters on the street if there are no sand counters there. So I have to take 1 indirect damage. I'll just take that on myself. All right, well, I'm going to attack for 3. I'm going to use my wings to reduce the cost of Ever Vigilant by 2, so it is free. So I get to ready my hero and remove 2 threat from a scheme. And then I'm going to hit him again for 3. I'm going to have Warpath attack and use Soaring Acrobatics to increase his attack by 1. So 1, 2, 3. I have 2 containment strategies in my hand, which are absolutely worthless because it needs a side scheme out. And I've got Taunt. I'm tempted just to... I mean, I'm doing good health-wise and everything. So, yeah, we're going to do it. I'm going to spend one of the containment strategies for Taunt. So he attacks me. I'm just going to take it. Whatever. 3... 4. I'm going to put it all on myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to trigger Surging Sands. So 2 cards go out. So that does take out the encounter deck, which means we get a we get an acceleration token, which means I have to take 3 indirect damage. I'll just take it. 1, 2, 3. I don't care. Shuffle up here, and then I'll draw my 3 cards. Because I'm probably just going to flip down to hero mode or alter ego anyway. So, man, and just a free heal of 2 every time you drop down into alter ego. I mean, 1 on the turn that you drop down to alter ego, and then 1 the next turn before you flip up. Just 2 free heal anytime you flip down. That's just crazy good. All right, let's see what my 3 cards are. Power Flight. Does me nothing. Elixir. And Natural Flight. Okay, Natural Flight is a aerial thwart event. All right, we're going to exhaust Cannonball to remove 2 sand counters. I am going to spend 4 to get out Elixir. Elixir, 4 cost, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 hit points, and after Elixir attacks or thwarts, heal the damage from another friendly character. So I will attack for 1. Take him down to 8. Let's heal up Archangel, just because. Now we are going to flip ourselves back down into our millionaire alter ego self, or billionaire, I suppose. Then do my action to heal a damage. Then I will use Industries to find an aerial card. I have any attack aerials out? Yeah, Metamorphosis seems really good. Unfortunately, I don't have it in my discard pile right now. My dive bombs, my razor feathers, and all that other metamorphoses are all still in my deck. So I guess I'm gonna take Natural Flight. Actually, you know what? Then I'm not even gonna bother because I want my attacks. Darn it! I don't want to dilute my deck with cards that are not damage dealing. All right, let's ready ourselves up here. We'll draw up to 6. Defense card, Psylocke, Metamorphose, like that. Power of Flight, Metamorphose again. And then Razor Dive. There we go. I like that. Alright, villain phase. We get 2 on the main. He goes to scheme for 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeesh. Alright, and now we get 1 encounter card. Advance. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. 1, 2. Only 2. Okay, so 8 out of 9. Oh, oh, oh. Well, that was awful. All right, so I mean, we've got this one, and I think he should probably be Sandman should probably even be lower than 8 because I think I forgot to trigger Archangel's ping damage ability when you play aerial events, and I know I played Ever Vigilant at least once. That would have been 2 damage and other things. So, all right, well, let's use my ability, heal 1. I'll have Elixir remove a threat to heal 1 more. I'm going to jump up to Archangel mode. Yeah, we're going to use... I will attack for 3. Or attack for 2, sorry. I don't know why I keep saying 3. I'm going to use my Techno-Organic Wings to do a Metamorphosis, and I'm going to change into Angel mode. At this point, I'm just kind of showing off, because... And then I get to remove 2 threat from a scheme. I won't have enough to do that. Darn. I guess I could have... I'll retcon and I'll say that I spent the 3 counters off of that to heal up that. Darn, I was hoping to get a Metamorphosis and my Razor Dive out, but I won't be able to do both. So, oh well, we'll have Cannonball Thwart for 2. Taking this down to 3. I have 2 aerial cards in my hand, so he takes no consequential. I'm just going to have Warpath Thwart for 2. Just because I want to just because I want to. And then I'm going to use Power of Flight and Psylocke to pay for a Razor Dive. Deal 6 damage to an enemy. If I was Archangel, it would gain Overkill and Piercing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there goes Sandman. I don't know. I don't think I made any play mistakes, or if I did, it was constantly forgetting. Constantly forgetting both of them, because technically an Angel right now, I get to draw a card, which is Avian Anatomy, which means I would have had enough to play Metamorphosis. So, yeah, new hero. Got to remember their various triggers. I know I forgot the Archangel trigger a few times, and Angel's trigger gets to draw you a card when you play an aerial event. So yeah, overall, the pre-con wasn't terrible. It's not great, obviously. Like some things like the Soaring Acrobatics, you can have a max of 1 per player, but they put 3 of them in there because they want to make sure that everybody's got a full play set. But everything else, I think, even the protection cards seem to work well. I mean, Containment Strategy, this was the one that was a waste for me for the most part because it needs a side scheme. But I do find it interesting. They got a few cards in here. Angel's Airy. Containment Strategy. Some of these that are incentivizing defending. The hero defending, which I think is neat. And I think there's certain heroes I think that could really benefit from that. I mean, obviously you've got Quicksilver who can ready after defending. Black Widow can trigger one of her preparations and then, or her if she triggers one of her preparations, then her suit can ready her afterwards and everything. So I think it's overall, this is actually it doesn't necessarily as built sing, but it is a usable protection precon. I am impressed. Well done, FFG. Yeah, I can't, Nolan, I can't really see using containment strategy either. Maybe, I mean, yeah, because it's just remove one threat for defending, two if it's damaged. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe in something like, was it the Sinister 6 one in Sinister Motives, where, or with the Collector 2? No, that's the main scheme, so that wouldn't work there. But in the Escape the Sinister Six one, where the whole goal is to clear the side scheme off, that could be useful. But yeah, I'm kind of reaching for one on where that would really come into play. So yeah, that for the most part, that one's probably going to be relegated to the box without seeing much view. But so all in all, for Angel played a lot easier and smoother than Psylocke did. The three forms that he's got, obviously the alter ego, he's got 12 hit points. It's a standard six cards in alter ego, 5 cards in hero, 3 recovery, not spectacular, but effectively a 5 recovery, really, because again, you get 2 free damage heal every time you flip down. That is really good. And 12 hit points is nothing to sneeze at, especially for somebody with hollow bones, because that's how Angel flies. He's got hollow bones like a bird. In Angel mode, he's a decent thwarter. And then you get to draw cards when you're playing your aerial events. And then Archangel, the 2 attack, 0 thwart, 3 defense. And then after you play the aerial event, it's almost like a hone technique. You just get to deal damage equal to that printed cost. But it does have the acceleration icon. But, I mean, it's to the point now where an acceleration icon isn't a really big deal. In solo, it can be a pain, and there's some that have a really low threshold, that like Crossbones or something, where you're looking at like a threshold of 3, especially in solo. That acceleration icon looks really nasty, but otherwise, I mean, I'm still not sold on taking extra encounter cards to get benefit out of it. Like, I don't see myself using that IPAC card out of Psylocke, where you deal yourself a encounter card and draw 2 cards. To me, that's not worth it. I don't play Star-Lord that much because it just doesn't work with me. But back to Angel, I mean, it's cool. The techno-organic wings, I think, are really neat. You get a free ready in one mode, or you get a discount on aerial events in the next. Shuffling cards in is nice. Let's see here. What do we got? His big attack damage, 3 for 6, is a little behind the curve compared to some of the earlier strategies, even with getting overkill and piercing on it. But it's kind of similar to what Psylocke had as well. So maybe they're trying to tone those down a little bit, but it's still pretty good attack. And then, of course, realistically, you play this in Archangel, this becomes a 3 for 9. So at that point, it's really good. What do we got? Adaptive plumage here. So you got a choice on what, play it in what form you need to. So you get to either remove 3 threat and confuse an enemy, or deal 4 damage and stun it. That's pretty good. 3 cost seems fair for that, especially with and again, if you're in Archangel mode, is not 3 for 4 in a stun, it becomes 3 for 7 in a stun, assuming you haven't played another aerial attack event. Or just aerial event, it doesn't have to be attack, but so that's really nice. His resource card pulls it back into your hand. That's That's certainly really nice. Just if nothing else, just to use it as a resource or potentially use it twice in a turn. His defense card, again, depending on which form you're in, great. I mean, Archangel basically just says, unless the villain has piercing, you're basically just saying, I'm not going to take any damage from this attack, and in fact, you're going to take one back from it because I have retaliate one, and then it's an aerial event because Archangel's thing is once per phase. Since you're in the villain phase, assuming you're not doing this through taunt, but if you're in the villain phase doing this, then not only do you take no damage, you deal one from retaliate, then you deal one from the Angel of Death ability. And then if you're in regular Angel mode, you know exactly what you're going to be getting because it's just the base attack of the villain, and you don't have to worry about any boost abilities to trigger off. Then we got Natural Flight, 4 threat. If you're an Angel, you get to ignore the Crisis icon and Patrol keyword. They've got those on a few things, like Shadowcat has that. Oh, can ignore Patrol and Guard and can do this. It's so infrequent that ever comes up in my experience that it's like, oh god, I really need to handle that scheme, but I got a guard minion in front of me, or I got a patrol minion in front of me, or that sort of thing. It's so rare that I don't know how big a deal that is. All right, last one here I'm going to look at is the Metamorphosis. So that is 2-cost aerial event to just change form. And you can play this in Alter Ego. You can play this in one of your hero modes, and you just get a free form change to anything you need in the moment. You're an Archangel, but you need to remove some threat. Change down to Angel. You get to remove 2 threat for free. Then you can change back up to Archangel and attack again. You need some healing. Shoot down to Alter Ego. Draw a card out of it. Heal a damage. Then change back up. Got some of the pesky minions or just need to do a little bit of damage before something, change up into Archangel, deal 3 damage to an enemy, then change to something else. So I don't know. Overall, Angel is surprisingly good. I've never been a huge fan of him as a comic book character, and X-Men was my jam. Loved X-Men. Angel never did it for me. He always was just guy with wings. Woo. I know they fleshed him out over the years, but just never really struck to me. The Archangel, when it first happened, was kind of silly, but but the pack is really nice. I like it, and like I said, the protection part was pretty good. The big thing that I want to see now, it's like with everything. It's like, oh, Angel got some aerial, threw out all this aerial stuff, just like Black Widow did with protection cards, and Psylocke did with Psionic. It's like, okay, that's great. We've got a good start. Please give us more, because like Angel, he's looking for aerial events. Right now, for the most part, there were some other aerial events out there prior to this pack. But by and large, a lot of them are going to be in his. So if you don't introduce more of them, then his decks are going to start to feel the same after a while. Because it's like, I don't have that many aerial events to choose from. And that's my whole shtick. So I'm going to, if I'm aggression, I'm doing these 6 cards. If I'm... or 6 events or 9 events. If I'm justice, these are the ones I'm doing. If I'm protection, I'm doing this. So again, hopefully, I mean, honestly, I want them to do more protection, or not protection, preparations for Black Widow. Because she's, again, another one that kind of sits at that she doesn't have a lot of preparations. They did put one in Angel's pack, but it requires an aerial character. And since there is currently no way to give yourself aerial, which seems like an oversight. Everybody flies, they got jetpacks all over the place. Give us like a jetpack option to let your characters fly. Put like 2 charges, 3 charges on it, and exhaust it and spend a charge to be aerial for that phase or turn or whatever. So for that preparation card, though, Black Widow will need an aerial ally out or something to take advantage of it. But Ariel's another one. Psionic. I'm trying to think. Do they have any other ones? Oh, um, off the top of my head, I'm not thinking any other heroes that like are kind of honed in on a specific trait that they need to flesh out more. But overall, this is good. I got to try Psylocke again. Psylocke's precon was junk. That Justice deck was the cards in it are interesting, but just to give somebody to just play with it, no, it was bad. Definitely need to get put together a real deck with her and try things out. But these are strong. Not as strong as Domino and Cable, which is fine. Domino and Cable are both stupid strong, and I wouldn't want the rest of X Force to look like this because then I'd be worried about power creep and the game just getting out of hand. Next wave is November. I know they've all been leaked online already, and I refuse to look at them because I just find that so obnoxious that when people just go and somehow get their hands on a pack early and then I'm just gonna show everything out. I know people are excited, but you just ruined it for all the developers and the marketing people and that. So I just can't see that. But in November comes X-23 and Deadpool. And I know everybody's looking forward to Deadpool. I'm relatively indifferent to him. I mean, part of it is I tend to be a risk averse player in things. And so, which is part of the reason I'm not a fan of Star-Lord. And he's very risk centric. So I don't think he's going to mesh nicely with my playstyle. But and the pool aspect certainly looks interesting, but again, my fear is that unless they give us Gwen pool or something, we're going to be stuck with what we've got, and that pool aspect is just going to be kind of a gimmicky one-off that people aren't going to use that much once they get out of it. Oh, hey, Descry. Yeah. Hey, Frito. Yeah. I I mean, I love the Deadpool movies, and some of the comics are okay. But for the most part, I'm kind of indifferent to him. I don't care one way or another. I mean, part of it is I'm old, so my comic heyday was before Deadpool came along. So Wolverine was my guy, and Wolverine got to the same place Deadpool did, where he was just dominating the comic sphere. Everything was Wolverine. Everything Wolverine, 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 Wolverine. He's the greatest there is, other than just being a short guy with metal bones and anger issues. He became this godlike killer, assassin, leader, amazing dude. And, Deadpool got the same thing. He got so popular that he shows up everywhere. He's, so strong, hell, they came out with the Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. He's so strong he can take out everybody in the entire Marvel Universe somehow. So I'm glad they're introducing him. As I mentioned, maybe he'll help me embrace riskier playstyles and I'll start to enjoy it, but I know I tend to be risk averse, so I don't know how much I'll play him. Which is fine because other people want to, and so if I go to events and BusterCon 24 or Gen Con or local store events or whatever, people want to play Deadpool, I'll just go, hey, you have fun with that. I'm gonna play this character instead. Personally, I'm really looking forward to X-23. I like the whole Honey Badger thing. It reminds me of in Arkham Horror, Ashcan Pete and Duke, who is still to this day my favorite investigator in Arkham Horror. So I don't know, maybe it's just that I'm like, oh, it's like a pet, and it's like Pete and Duke. So consequently, I'm really looking forward to X-23. I really want to see how that all plays out. I think you're going to be able to do some crazy stuff with Honey Badger as well, with some of the insane ally buffing and everything. So I think it'll be fun. Yeah, Descry. I'm sure that he is going to be Deadpool is going to be so off the wall. It'll be again. I haven't looked at the leak cards, so it'll be interesting to see how much they balance the goof around, the goofing around fourth wall breaking with trying to keep it not serious but focused on the game. I know. I think it was Tony was it Tony talking to Critical Encounters recently, or somebody was talking about that, and just the how to balance it, like with Spider Ham also, of like some people don't want that crazy silly it's a cartoon character thing, and other people really want it and really get into the whole give somebody a high five, wiggle in your seat, that sort of thing. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to him and seeing how it goes, how he goes and how he plays out. We'll see how much I like him. I may turn out that he is awesome and I love him and the pool aspect, and he jumps to my top of my list of heroes. I doubt that's going to happen, but hey, good. Then after that, hopefully around then, we should be getting, you know, November, October, November. Hopefully, we'll be getting the announcement of the next box, which we all know is Age of Apocalypse at this point. The question is going to be, what heroes are we going to get out of it? Are we going to see Cable? Are we going to see Nightcrawler, Beast, Iceman? The old classics that haven't been introduced yet. Are we going to see Rachel Summers? They gave us Hope Summers, but are they going to give us Rachel Summers? Or will they give us a Hope Summers? Will they give us a Jubilee? Will they give us a reformed villain? Will they give us a, you know, Emma Frost White Queen hero pack or a Magneto hero pack? I don't know. Let's see. Describe. He will be one of your favorites for his off the wall. Is his type of playstyle. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I like the. I like a lot of recursion. I think that's why I like Survivor in Arkham Horror as well, and why I love Miss Marvel. Just the bouncing events back, and especially in this game, like in Marvel, of like knowing what those timing windows are and how much you can cram into a single timing window with the right cards. That's my jam. But we'll see. Again, I hope he's fun and not too. I hope he's fun. I hope he's not too overpowered, and I hope everybody that was looking forward to him gets everything they wanted out of him. I do, regardless of how good he is, how funny he is, if he's OP or if he's not. I I do love the fact that they gave us the pool aspect. Not necessarily because I'm looking forward to the pool aspect, but just because they thought outside the box and said, hey, let's just actually give a whole new aspect for him and change things up. New mechanic for a villain, similar to Player's Action. Yeah, they need to do something. They need to. We'll see what they do for the next one, but yeah, they need to do something a little bit with the villains to kind of shake things up. Now, they're certainly not getting. They're not falling into a rut by any means, but we're getting different takes on similar mechanics or similar ideas, which isn't bad because they're different takes. Like the mansion attack is different than the Sinister Six escape or Wrecking Crew for multi-villains. And same with the Morlock Siege and all that. So they handle them differently, and that's really awesome. But it would be nice to have something new. And so we've gotten like the standards. King really hammered us with obligations. Mojo a little bit with that, but moving thread around was a lot of him. Yeah, I don't know. I think the next box should be Caleb, because I think Caleb and Tony are still just are the two main, and since they kind of leapfrog when they do the boxes, and Tony did this one, so I guess that would mean that that Caleb would be in line for the Age of Apocalypse box. Something might there might be something big in the future. Oh, you should give me some hints offline. I love big things. Oh, might be someone big in the future. Okay, or something. Yeah. I hope to God, I was hoping for it this just Gen Con. If not this Gen Con, I hope next Gen Con. I want them to finally give us the epic multiplayer scenario, convention scenario. Give us Galactus, because by that time, Fantastic Four should probably be released, or they can plan for it around that time. Give us an epic multiplayer Galactus event. It is the most logical. It is the most logical choice for a standalone scenario pack that you can do either just solo, one group of four, but you can expand into however many dozens of tables would be there. It is, it's logical. Galactus is coming. He's going to eat the Earth, and we all have to fight him and stop him. And it seems like it would be relatively easy to scale with larger people, because, again, you're mostly talking about hit points and then some kind of countdown of, like, you've got this many turns, and then, he devours the Earth. So, 8-player game versus a Galactus. Yeah, that'd be... Yeah, I'm hoping for the epic multiplayer size where, at a bigger convention that they can, because, like, Arkham's got the Blob that ate everything and War of the Outer Gods, and I would think Galactus would be more like a Blob that ate everything, where it's just like, it's mostly the same no matter how many tables you have. You're basically just increasing the amount of damage you need to do the Blob and the clues you need to get to advance. But since everybody's going after it, it's effectively the same threshold as it would be on one table, but it just lets you have 10, 15, 20, 25 tables in it, all going together into it. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I trust the developers. I trust them. They love the game. They're doing a great job with it. God, what is it going to be? Is this going to be the 4th year for it? Came out, in like fall of 2019. 1920, 2021. Yeah, this will be the 4th year for it. I remember, the funny thing is I remember seeing it at Gen Con 2019. I didn't demo it there. Because I looked at it and went, that looks so fiddly. I don't, that just doesn't look like it's going to be fun. That just looks like it's going to be a slog, just a unpleasant slog. Fast forward 4 years later, here I am. I've got everything. I've spent all the money on extra tokens and dials and things. And now I started throwing videos up on YouTube and producing content for it. No, it was not 2017 to Scry, because I picked it up December of 2019 as a Christmas present to myself, or like late December, might have been early January, and then COVID locked us all down, and that's really when I started getting into it. Because 2017, that would put us at 6 years of. 6 years of Marvel Champions, and it has not been 6 years. I mean, my sense of time is all skewed to hell. I mean, I still think the 1990s was like 7 years ago, but I know it was longer than 27. It was earlier than 2017, or closer to now. So yeah, no, super fun game. Age of Apocalypse. I can't wait to see what they do after this. I'm going to guess they're going to do like a one-off type thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something like, I guess either of them could work. Either, the two that everybody thinks about are either Fantastic Four or the street level heroes that finally give us Daredevil. I could see either of those as a great just kind of palate cleanser, because there isn't, I mean, the street level might have a little bit more. Fantastic Four wouldn't have a lot of, like, it's not like X-Men or Avengers where it's like, here's the roster of 75 heroes to choose from. So we can stretch this out over 3 boxes, but make it like a Sinister Motos where it's like, okay, it's just these groups. So I would lean. I mean, if they did the street levels, if you're going like to Iron Fist and that sort of thing, you can get into Punisher. You could get into that, could lead into like a Ghost Rider, almost the Mystic, Midnight Suns type stuff. Give us Blade, give us Ghost Rider, Swamp Thing, that sort of thing, or Man Thing. Sorry, Swamp Thing is DC, Man Thing. Or they can go Fantastic Four and then move us more into Cosmic Realm. They could do Silver Surfer. They could do Beta Ray Bill. They could do more Asgardian stuff. I don't know. We will see. Well, thank you very much, Discry. We got to get back to our Next Evolution campaign, too. We should really finish that up sometime. Yeah, I've talked with Nelson and Brand. I'd love to get a game or two in with them. They're always fun to watch and such good players. I always enjoy getting a chance. I love getting to play with you, and I love any chance I get to play with other people online and everything. It's so fun. Unfortunately, I don't. My area doesn't have a huge scene for it. We did an OP event. I think we got 5 people in, including myself, one of which drove like 2 hours to get there. So again, we don't have a vibrant Marvel Champions community in the area. So any chance I get to play with other people online or at conventions, I just jump at and love doing. So can't wait. I'm looking forward to BusterCon 2024, which first week of May, I think it is. It hasn't been official, but unofficially it is like May 3rd and 4th of next year. So went to it the last 2 years, and it's so much fun. Kennedy Hawk from MCM Podcast and Hone, who may also now be with MCM Podcast, I don't know, and some others put it on. And if you can get up to Minnesota in early May, if you like playing Marvel Champions, you should come, because it is just a blast. Just 2-3 days of just playing Marvel Champions. All right, well, it is 10:30. I think I'm going to call it a night and start prepping stuff for going to the day job tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Descry, Frito, Nolan, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for watching and chatting with me. A lot of fun. Angel was a lot of fun. Got to explore him and other ones. I think maybe I need to actually build up a deck for Angel and Psylocke and do a little two-handed solo next. Get a better feel for them. So awesome. Well, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this later, hope you enjoy the game and the conversation. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, leave a comment if there's anything you want to see or anything I can do better. Otherwise, thank you as always. Have a wonderful evening wherever you are, or day, depending on where you're watching from. And I will be back again soon with more Marvel Champions. Maybe some Arkham. I'm looking to see the best way to set up my cameras to do some Arkhaming. And then hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll finally get Earthborn Rangers in. And then, at least for a few weeks, my channel's going to turn into all Earthborn Rangers all the time. Because I've been looking forward to that game for like 2 years now. So, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Later.